We had an okay day yesterday. I was kind of a little disappointed, Again, I related to having a good Saturday and everybody's feeling good about themselves. The head coach says, hey, you did a nice job, guys. Good job, good work. Then they come out yesterday and just sloppy. Not as much details and focus as I wanted. But we'll crank it up today and get it right. Questions?
After something like that, do you pull a couple leaders aside and say, hey, come on, you need to...
No, I'd pull the whole team aside and say, come on, let's go. And then the leaders will take from there, I think. So I don't have to pull them individually. I think they get it.
What did one of those speeches sound like?
I don't know.
Was it everybody, or was it mainly some of the younger guys who
A
are
little bit of everything, a little bit of everything. I mean, it's a team, right? It's everybody. It's just a little lack of focus, and everybody feels themselves every once in a while, and it just wasn't fired up about it.
You talked to... Go ahead, Jeff.
Is that a typical ebb and flow of camp where you have days like that and you see how guys respond as part of it?
Yeah, it happens. I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, every day is not going to be perfect. We'd like it to. We just got to fight through it and push through it. And, it's them watching the tape afterwards, realizing, coach is right. And then we fix it the next day. That's what we do. We're the fixers.
We talked to Corey yesterday, and he was saying he thought his safeties were maybe as deep as it's been since he's been here.
Right.
You agree with that? And how excited are you about the depth guys, not just Brandon and Eric, but the guys behind?
Yeah, I mean, Brandon and Eric are, obvious, but then you look at, Javon McIntyre, P.J. O'Brien's playing really well. Steph Hall didn't do anything in the spring, and he flies around. He'll hit the heck out of you. He loves to hit. I'm going to forget somebody, but there's maybe one more. So, yeah, we are as deep as we've been there. We want to stay healthy, but, we've got some guys that can go in there and play. And Judd, forgot about Judd. Judd didn't, go in the spring as well. So Judson Tallender's been good as well. Really good.
How have you seen Bengali Kamara step up this year and step into the role of being one of those younger guys that you're going to ask a lot more of in the roles where you had 5th and 6th year seniors last year?
Right, Bengali's really stepped up. I mean, I'm very, very impressed with what he's done. Not only the interception the other day, just his physicality, his ability to rush the quarterback and create havoc in the backfield. He's got that. We got to keep him, focused all the time. But he's going to be a good football player for us.
Have you seen Ryan settle in as a position coach, with those guys and get to establish himself a little bit more with different, practices that they got used to?
Yeah, no question about it. I think time heals everything, and it makes everything better. And certainly we had a good thing going last year. But I think second year, third year is always going to keep getting better.
What does that experience in the back allow you to do as a play caller? How does that impact things?
It does, but you don't want to overcoach it and create things that don't need to be done. We want to be sound back there. And again, I think there's, I'm from a simple but complex system. Keep things simple, or our guys can go play fast. You can have great athletes back there. If you confuse the heck out of them, all of a sudden, you look like bad coaches and bad players. And that's what we've been able to do, is keep it simple enough where our guys can play fast and look athletic, as opposed to be really athletic, but man, they look slow because they don't know what to do.
In the short time that Coach Underwood's been here, what's he been able to do to transform that wide receiver room?
We'll find out September 1st, right? I mean, I always say that, he hasn't gone through a season like Coach Manlack has, so we're going to find out, what it looks like on game day, and should be fun to watch.
Some of the guys have touched on it, but how has Jared emerged as a leader in the wide receiver room?
Jared's been a leader all summer. He's been a little bit banged up through camp, but he'll be obviously ready to go. And he's had a good camp so far when he's been out there. We want to make sure we keep him healthy, but he's led that group for sure.
You said how you told your guys, and they've all echoed this. Last year's behind you. You're not tying this year's success to last year, but you guys also learned some important lessons, especially guys like Eric Hallett in coverage and how to respond to different situations. How do you tie keeping those lessons that were learned while also staying focused on this year with the way that you set that tone?
And I think it's just it's a new team, and we got new players, and it's just kind of reiterating every day, every week, every practice, that it's all based on what you're going to do. We got faith, we got belief in what we have been and what we want to do and what our goals are, but it's going to take daily work to get that thing done. And it's a new football team, even though 85% of our football team is back from a championship year ago. You still have to have new leaders emerge and guys step up, and that's something I'm looking for.
Someone asked me a while back when you're going to announce your starting quarterback, and I said, what time is kickoff? September 1st. And my question is, what's the advantage of for a defensive coordinator, or disadvantage for a defensive coordinator, not knowing who the quarterback is? And do you have a timetable?
Don't really have a timetable. I don't think it'll be September 1st. Okay, so you'll be wrong there, Jerry, but which rarely happens for you because you're usually right on the nail there. We'll name it when it's time, and we'll name it when it's time to go.
What's the advantage of not keeping them in suspense?
Well, I think one of the advantages would be if it's an athletic guy or non-athletic guy, depending on it's not known. I mean, we're going to go back and watch JT Daniels, every pass he's ever thrown at USC and Georgia. I mean, so you go back and look at different stuff, and how deep do you go? What are you looking at? I think that all matters.
In other words, right?
Yeah, a little bit, or maybe they don't work hard at all. I don't know.